Hi everyone, so my name is Rachel Hughes. I have chosen to critique Annalise Meter's assignment, and my first impression just scrolling through here is definitely that she's telling a very cohesive story. The theme is very clear that she's trying to capture something definitely scary, something very surreal, something that you wouldn't see every day. And so just to go through the list of questions. So the first of all, does the artist generally understand the requirements of the project? I think that she definitely captures that very well. She does a good job of making her images seem surreal. In particular, like this one really stood out. It's very faded. I mean, it looks like a ghost. That's definitely what she's going for. And definitely she spent a lot of time on that, and it's very evident. As well as these photos with the red. It's very clear that this took a lot of time and effort, and she planned it out very well. Definitely hits the surreal narrative kind of idea that this project is supposed to capture. And then the next question, how effectively has the artist used the elements and principles of design? And then do they convey the sense of the unreal and hyperreal? Like I mentioned, they definitely do that. She has a good sense of color, and she uses black and white images, as well as, like this one, like faded faces, very good photography work, and she's used contrast very well to portray what she's trying to get across. I also like that she experimented a lot with, like with these two here, like the black and white next to the, like the colored one, kind of shows the difference and the progression. And it looks like she might have added that face paint on after digitally, which is a really cool use of more principles of design as well. And then what are the images about? What's the story trying to tell? I don't really know like the specific storyline, but it's very clear that it's supposed to be like a horror movie. Like she's turning off the lights. There are these skeletons, and there are these two girls that look very kind of suspicious. They're very, very scary. Clearly that's the theme that she's going for. And then the images that stand out as the best and the weakest. Let me find it here. So this one is one that stood out to me as one of the best images, just because the composition, the subject is in like one of the thirds of the screen, which is very good for composition. And it's very clear that she's like peeking out of the blinds and she sees this man standing there. So it portrays a very real story, and I think it captures what she's trying to get with the whole series. And then one of the weakest ones, I think these that are just of the light switch, and I know that that's like showing she's like turning off or turning on the light. I'm not 100% sure, but it just like it doesn't quite capture the story as well as the rest of the pictures, so that might stand out as like the weakest link for this series of photos. And then lastly, the things that the artist could do to improve the images and enhance the narrative. I honestly think that she's done a fantastic job of telling the story. She has close-ups, she has far away. I think that maybe for the final images, just use like the same subject, so it's kind of like a more cohesive story. I've noticed that in some of them, they're different subjects, so it's like different people. Like this ghost is someone different than the one standing outside the blind, which is different than this close-up of the face. So just like using the same subject might make it more of a cohesive story. But other than that, I think she's done a fantastic job of telling a story, sticking to the theme. She uses creative elements really well as a good use of contrast and lighting and all of that. So very well done. And thank you for letting me critique your work.